In urban transit systems, there are exactly 7 types of passengers who wait on platforms after midnight. 1. The night shift worker heading home. 2. The insomniac riding loops to avoid sleep. 3. The tourist lost in a city they don't know. 4 through 6. People seeking shelter or anonymity. And 7. The person waiting for a train that doesn't exist. The one whose arrival time keeps climbing instead of counting down. She was the only one on the platform at 3 a.m. Not because she missed the last train. Because the display said one was coming. At 3:07. Then 3:08. Then 3:09. The numbers weren't counting down. They were counting up. No schedule listed this time. No destination on the board. Just the numbers. Climbing. Like the train wasn't late. It was waiting. For her to notice. To realize she wasn't supposed to be here. Now here, where it gets uncomfortable. We treat transit spaces as temporary. Places we pass through, not places we stay. But nobody talks about what happens when the threshold stops being transitional. When waiting becomes permanent. Psychologists call it liminal dissociation. It's not madness. It's the mind adapting to a space that has no purpose. When it finally arrived, there were no windows, no doors, no lights inside. Just a hollow shell sliding past, moving too slow, too quiet, as if it knew she'd never step on. And it didn't need to stop. This isn't about ghosts. It's about the erosion of temporal logic, where clocks lose meaning. And you realize you've been waiting for something that was never real. Studies show prolonged exposure to unmarked transit spaces causes acute temporal disorientation in 68% of subjects. They don't get lost. They just stop knowing when they are. Because the space has stopped telling them. One former commuter described it as being stuck between seconds. He'd stare at the tunnel mouth and see movement. Not because he was hallucinating. Because he'd been trained to expect arrivals. His entire sense of time was built around schedules. Without them, just endless now. So what happens to those who wait too long? Do they become part of the tiles? Part of the silence? Or do they wait for someone to tell them it's okay to leave? Some thresholds cost everything. Some waits remember too much. And some stories are meant to stay hidden. Today, the 3 a.m. platform is sealed. No trains stop there. No displays run. Because some spaces aren't meant to be used. They're meant to be forgotten. But locals say on quiet nights, when the station is empty, you can still hear it. Not a train. A presence. Waiting. Counting. So, what are you waiting for that will never come? Permission. Closure. Or just yourself. Some identities have no foundation. Some moments have no end. And some people never stop waiting for a train that doesn't exist. What are you waiting for that will never come?